Good people, sanibonani, umakebalo. Today we are doing a revision. So for people who are writing grade 11 paper, final paper, this video is for you. If you have seen the final paper for November 2024, the grade 12 one, more or less everything that we're going to do here was there in that paper, obviously in another different form, but similar questions. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, I will start this first part of question one, where we are supposed to solve for x here. So, it's 2x into x minus 3, sorry, equals to 0. So, the moment they give you this thing like this and it's equals to 0 and it's 2 marks, it's already factorized for you. There's nothing more that you can do here. It's just saying 2x is going to be equals to 0, or your x is equals to 3. Okay, divided by 2, divided by 2, your x is just 0 and another x here is just 3. Then you're done with this one. There's nothing much to do there. And then 1.1.2, it's 3x squared. I'm going to take this to the other side, so it's going to be minus 2x minus 4. This is a very, very important instruction, meaning if they give you this instruction, there's nothing to factorize here. Just have to go straight into your quadratic equation. So from there, the quadratic equation, so it's going to be x into negative b is minus 2 into plus or minus and negative 2 squared minus 4, a is 3, then my c is negative 4, all over 2, my a is 3, and then just punching this into my calculator right now. Hopefully now you can do the same thing as I'm doing it right now. And then minus 2 squared minus 4 AC, and then all over 2A. So the first x that I'm getting is 1 comma 5 4 if I round off into two decimal places, because it's very important again, guys, to follow the instructions. And then another x that I'm getting is going to be negative 0 comma 8 7. So I'll also again round off into two decimal places. This is just 4 marks for mahala free, guys. Make sure you get these 4 marks. Again, now 1.1.3, here they're saying x minus 1 into 4 4 minus x, it's greater or equals to 0. So the tricky parts, guys, in this question, because this thing is already factorized for you, but the important thing is here in this bracket here, because they started with 4 and then they end with the variable. So now if you take your times in this x and this thing is going to give you a negative x squared. Now it's telling you a very important thing in terms of knowing, is your function facing up or your function facing down. In this case, since this and that, they give you a negative, telling us that our function is going to be facing down. So let me just do that. So my function is facing down in this case, and the first x here is going to be 1 and the other x here is going to be 4. Now again, they are telling us that our function is greater than 0. Our function is greater than 0 at the top and is less than below. That is a very straightforward thing. I hope we are understanding that part. So greater at the top, this is my reference line. So greater at the top, so it's going to be greater in this space here. So I hope we can see now everything is constrained in this one specific space there. So if everything is there, now I know that it's going to be 1 and x and 4. Now from there, going this direction, comparing the x values that are inside here with this one, 1 is going to be bigger than this x value is greater or less than is equals to. Now again, this 4, comparing this 4 with the values that are inside here. So my 4 is going to be what? It's going to be bigger than the x values that are going this side. So it's greater or equals to. So this is going to be my answer. Again, if you know that everything is going to be constrained in this one space, these signs are always facing in this direction here, which is your left hand side. You can say that. Yeah. Now let's go into this one here, which is 1.4.4, but let me just get a space for that question. So 1.1.4 is a square root of 5 minus x is equals to x plus 1. So this question, now that we know that we must get rid of the square root. How do we get rid of a square root? We square both sides and then squared, and this squared is going to cancel this. So I'm going to be left with 5 minus x and then equals to this one here. It has to be x plus 1 and x plus 1, and then open the brackets there. It's gonna be x squared, then plus 2x, and then plus 1, and then this is just gonna be 5 minus x. Now take this to the other side. This is gonna be 0 is equals to x squared plus 2x plus 1, and then it's going to be plus x minus 5. And then 0 is equals to x squared. Now, like terms of this one and this one is going to give us what? It's going to give us 3x, and then this and that is going to give us minus 4. Then from here, if you know how to factorize, you factorize. If you don't know how to factorize, I always emphasize this thing, because in an exam, time is your enemy. So from here, just go straight into your quadratic formula if you don't know how to factorize. Please, it's very, very important, this thing, because your enemy in an exam room, it's time. No one likes time in an exam room. So make sure that you go straight into your quadratic formula, and then quadratic formula is just going to give you exactly the same answer that was going to give you if you know how to factorize, because sometimes we do mistakes if we are factorizing. So let's avoid keep doing mistakes. So my x here is going to be 3 into plus 3 squared minus 4ac, and then all over 2a. So my first x is 1, or my another x is going to be -4. So from here, again, this is very important, specifically in these types of question. You need to check your answers. Is your answer a solution or not a solution? So checking this one here, so it's going to be 5 now minus 1 is equals to another 1 plus 1. So what is an answer here? It's going to be a square root of 4, which is going to be 2. Square root of 4 is what? Is 2. So 2 and 2. So this is a solution. So I can say this is a solution. Now coming back here to check again. So it's going to substituting now here is going to be 5 minus into minus 4, then equals 2. So it's -4 plus 1. Now here it's going to be giving me so this is going to be 9 is equals to -4 plus 1 is giving me a -3. So I hope you can see now this is not the same, because 3 and then this is -3. So this is not a solution. So this is not a solution. This is the only solution. Again, it's very important to check in these types of questions. Make sure you don't make that mistake, because the last mark here in this 5 is the one of you checking is the solution or not a solution. So here, simultaneous equation. So from here, this one is going to be equation number 1, and this one is going to be making equation number 2. So making equation number 3, I'm going to make equation number 3 from equation number 1. From here, I can see that my x has a coefficient of 1, so I can make x the subject of the formula. So it's going to be x is equals to 2y minus 4, and then this is going to be my equation number 3. So from here, I can say substitute equation number 3 into equation number 2. So whenever I see x, I'm putting this in this equation. So it's going to be y squared minus, no, I see x, let me just take y in front here. I see x, then it's going to be 2y minus 4, and then plus 21 is equals to 0. Now, from here, it's going to be y squared, and then open the bracket here, it's going to be negative 2y squared, and then this one here is going to be positive 4y, and then plus 21 is equals to 0. Now, from here, like terms here is going to give me a negative y squared and plus 4y, then plus 21 is equals to 0. From here, you can go straight with your quadratic formula, or avoiding this negative, you can take these things to the other side. So it's going to be equals to y squared minus 4y minus 21. And then from here, just go straight into your quadratic. But if you know how to factorize again, you can do factorize. But if you still thinking about factors, wasting your time, again, time it's your enemy in an exam room. No one likes time there, I know for sure. So you can just go straight into your quadratic equation. The answers that a quadratic equation is going to give you is exactly the same answers that if you know how to factorize, it's going to give you. So yeah, that's my advice when it's come to this type of questions in terms of time, especially in an exam room. So negative 21 and 2 into 1, oh sorry, into 1. So my first y is 7, and my another y here, it's going to be a negative 3. Again, we're solving x and y. Now, you know that if it x is equals to 2 into 7 and then minus 4, so my 2 into 7 minus 4, it's going to give me 10, and then here it's going to be 2 into negative 3, then minus 4 is going to be equals to, now substituting there, it's going to give me a negative 10. So yeah, this is the simultaneous equation. Now, coming to this one here, they're asking us to discuss the nature of a root. How do we discuss the nature of root? Again, that is very important that we know that delta is equals to b squared minus 4ac. So from here, I will just do this part and put it in a standard form that we usually know. There is another way of doing this thing, but I will do the one which is going to be easy for me to explain it. So it's going to be 2 into, now here, this thing is going to be x squared minus 6x, and then plus 9, and then plus 2 is equals to 0. So from here, guys, I said just x minus 3 into x minus 3, which is x squared, then minus 3x and minus 3x, and then 3 and 3 give me a positive 9, and then from here it's x squared minus 6x and then plus 9. Hopefully you're on the same page there. Now from here, open the bracket, so it's going to be 2x squared minus 12x and plus 18, and then plus these 2 is equals to 0, and then from here is going to be 2x squared minus 12x and then plus 20 equals to 0. And from here I can just go straight here. Now I know that delta is equals to, my b in this case is negative 12 squared minus 4. My A is 2 and my C is 20, and then you punch this in your calculator. So it's negative 12 squared minus 4AC, and then from here I'm getting what? I'm getting a negative 16. From negative 16, now I can tell me that delta is what is less than 0, which is negative. Therefore, the nature of root here are non-real root. I hope we're on the same page there again. Now, let's get into this last part of question number 1. Here they're asking us to determine the value of P, or the values of P, if I'm having this function and that has a maximum value. Now this maximum value is very important, this word here, having the maximum value, because it's telling us in terms of what is it that we have to do. Again, if we are having the word maximum, especially if you are having a parabola function, we're having a turning point, where that turning point, we first need to find the x of that turning point, and then the value of the maximum value is the y of that turning point. How do we find an x of a turning point? Finding an x of a turning point, we know it's x is equals to negative b all over 2a. Now from here, we know that it's negative into my b in this case is going to be negative p, and then all over 2, my a it's negative 2, so it's negative 2. So my x of this turning point, in order for me to find the maximum, is going to be p all over negative 4. Now, after finding your x of a turning point, in order for you to find the y of that turning point, we take that x and put it back into this equation to find the y. But in this case, we do have that y, which is our maximum value, which is this y here. Very, very important. So this mixed function, because they gave us the mixed function, 3 into 1 over 8 is exactly as 25 all over 8, and then is equals to, now substituting this now back to here, whenever we see x we substitute this, so it's negative 2 into, then my x is p all over negative 4 squared, and then minus p into x, it's p all over negative 4, and then plus 3. Then keeping this, 25 over 8 is equals to this negative 2. This one here is just going to be p squared all over 16, and then bracket, and then this one is going to be positive p squared, because this negative and this negative positive, and then p and p is p squared, and then all over 4, and then plus 3. Now keeping this, 25 all over 8 is equals to, so this negative 2 divided by 16 is going to give me 8, so it's going to be negative p squared all over 8, and then keeping this one as 1 into p all over 4 plus 3. So these are the like terms. Again, p squared all over, in this case, is negative 8, is exactly the same thing as just negative 1 over 8 p squared. Very, very important also to understand that part. Now I'm going to take this one to the other side. It's going to be 0 here. So I'm just going to say negative 1 over 8 plus 1 over 4, because those are like terms. And then I'm going to get 1 over 8 p squared, and 3 minus 25 all over 8, I'm getting negative 1 over 8. Again, let me just take this one to the other side. So it's going to be 1 over 8 is equals to 1 over 8 p squared, and then I can divide by 1 over 8 both sides. So my p squared is going to be equals to 1. Now how do I find p? I square both sides, I square both sides. So this one is plus or minus, so my p is going to be plus or minus 1. So these are the value, or the values in this case, of p that has the maximum value of 3 into 1 over 8 in the mixed fraction. So yeah, that is question 1, grade 11s. Make sure you understand this type of question, because I can tell you now for sure in grade 12 you're gonna face these types of question. Thank you so much, man, for watching. Makebale.